Welcome back to the Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I am Tran Designs. Today is Monday, April 18th, 2016. Welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome for your first time. Thank you for checking out my podcast. I hope you all have been well since last we spoke. It's been busy over here, let me tell you. Anyways, before I get into that, I want to let you know where you can find the podcast, where you can get a hold of me, obviously on Ravelry. And there's a Facebook page, a Tran Designs Facebook page. There's a Tran Designs Ravelry group. There's meltrandesigns.blogspot.com. That's where you can find not only the episode, but that's where the show notes are as well, YouTube and iTunes. I think that is everywhere. So, and if you need to get a hold of me, and you don't want to message on Ravelry, meltrandesigns@gmail.com is an email. So, anyways, let's jump right into happenings this week. It's been a little over a week, a little more than a week, but that's all right. I'm trying to remember what didn't happen. Let me see. Since last I podcasted, we have gone to one of Anansi's track meets, her first one, which was a lot of fun to watch. She was in the 200 meter, the 100 meter, and the 4x100 relay. Her relay took second place, and in the 200 she got second place, which was cool. Third place. Second in the relay, third in the 200. So anyways, she has had one since then. It was really super cold and rainy, and I didn't go. And she actually was like, "You don't have to come. I don't care. It's not a big deal." So I was like, "Okay." And it was like 45 minutes away anyways, and I have Lucy in a dog training class, and it's actually on Thursday nights, and her track meets are on Thursdays, and they're really long. So, and she's like, "You don't have to come to any of the others. I don't care." And so I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna worry about it then." And she wasn't just saying it, like, she really doesn't care. So we went to that, and we've had oh geez, just getting together, and I don't even know. It seems like every day's been busy. And then there's also the retreat coming up this week. Yay! On Thursday. And so there's been a lot of getting stuff together for that, and packages coming, and all sorts of goodies for the door prizes, and goodie bags, and all sorts of really cool stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's been fun. This week I will be shopping for food. I wanted to obviously wait, and most of it, well, excuse me, I shouldn't say most, I said the wrong word. Some of the food stuff has come in, or consumable things have come in that I ordered on Amazon. I ordered some coffee and hot chocolate and tea and things like that. Things that wouldn't go bad, you know. And I've been buying things here and there that were not perishable enough that they would go bad before this weekend. So, yeah, let's just skip into going on coming up. I don't know anything else that happened over the week that was important enough to need to talk about. So, yeah, coming up this weekend, Fiber Fanatics Unite retreat in Albion, Idaho. It is going to be a blast. I cannot wait. Like I said, this week I'm going to buy the food and finish up all the, last minute things that have purposefully been saved to the last minute. Thursday early afternoon, I will head down and have a fun weekend. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No. As far as that goes, no. Sorry. It's kind of early in the morning for me to be recording, and I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm kind of going to get my teeth cleaned at 10. Yay! Whatever. But a cool thing that did come about, my sister said, hey, you're only going to be like an hour from me. When your retreat's done, you should come over and see me. So I talked to Jake about it because the retreat is done Sunday at noon, and he doesn't work Sundays and Mondays. Those are his days off. So I talked to him about maybe extending my absence by another day, and he didn't care. So I'm going to go see my sister all by myself. Hey. On Sunday through Monday, and I'll come home probably Monday night. It's only like 2.5, well, not 2.5. It's like a 3-hour drive. Shouldn't say 2.5. I would have to be driving really fast for that. It's about a 3-hour drive from her. So yeah, I could even stay until, 5 or 6 on Monday night, but I think it's going to be perfect because, I'm sure I'm going to be wiped out. I get kind of wiped out after just attending a retreat, and I'm going to be running the retreat, and so I'm really looking forward to not having to come home and run my house after the retreat. So I will get to go and hang out with her, and she has some stuff she's been wanting to do outside in her yard that she just could use some help with, and I think that'll be a great way to recover and help her out. And there's a hiking trail that I've been wanting to try out that's close to her house that she was talking about going up to, so we'll have to check the weather and see what it's going to be like. But anyways, hopefully some outdoorsy kind of things. So anyway, that will be fun. And then coming up not very long after that is going to be Zombie Apocalypse. Woohoo! And that's going to be in Rochester, Minnesota. And I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. It's been more, kind of towards the back of my mind, mostly because I need to focus on this retreat, obviously, because it's first and I'm running it. So I've been, I've been kind of planning the route that I'm going to drive, planning it, kind of here and there in the back of my mind. But once I get done with this weekend, then I can really go into planning mode and all that. So anyways, yes, it will be cool to, be able to, put one past me and get to look forward to the next one, and it'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, that'll be great. And I don't have anything else scheduled as of right now, so that's all right. We will just two in 1 year is fine. Like that's plenty. That's more than most people go to at all, so I'm good with that. And I think that's everything as far as that goes travel-wise. There is the All Things Laura Ayler Unofficial Knit Along that is being co-hosted by Lisa Fiber Nymph of the 90% Knitting Podcast and myself. And by unofficial, it just means, hey, pick something Laura Ayler and make it and post about it, because we both have a pattern of hers that we're working on, and I have multiple patterns of hers, not only that I've made, but that I own and that I want to make, and she's my favorite. So anyways, go check that out. Other than that, let's get into the knitting. There's not a lot. As far as works in progress, the only thing I've really worked on that's not an FO to show you is my 10-stitch blanket. And I don't think I moved my marker. Oh, I guess I did. I lied. Alright, so this is where I was last time. So I finished down to here, turned a corner, came over here. I haven't done it every single day, but most days. And then this much. Today I actually did a little bit extra because I was close to finishing off a little ball of yarn, so I just finished it and joined the next one. I'm actually pretty much out of my little scraps because I'm trying not to use the larger amounts of scraps because those can make a good chunk on a sock. So I'm trying to really just use the small leftovers. So for example, I have this little one left over, and this is actually the solid and part of the self-striping from one of the minis, and then this little bit, and that's all I have in here right now. So I'm sure I have more somewhere. I just have to find them. Did I show? I don't think I showed this one to you when I finished it. Hold on, let me. Yeah, that one I showed you. Okay, I'll show this one too, just in case I didn't. So, anyways, that is my 10-stitch blanket. It's on size 4. I don't know, 3 or 4. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just grabbed some needles and started working on it. It'll be done eventually. I did put a marker because when I put it on my lap again and said, okay, how much more? And I think 3 more rounds might make it big enough, but that's still a lot of knitting. I know it doesn't sound like very much, but that's a lot of knitting. So I did put a little marker there so I could remember how far I wanted to go out, and then we'll see from there. That's all I have on the needles that I've really, like I said, that I've really actively worked on. My Atalaya shawl, I think I might have done just a couple rows, so I'm not going to pull it out. So let's move on to FOs. I have finished all 12 of my minis of the month squares. So this was this January's or this? Okay, it doesn't matter. I have January, February, March. I'll just show you what I have. So here's this one. And then let's pull this one out here. I think that was January, yeah. And then I love this one. We have this one here. This colorway, the vibrancy of these colors is incredible. It's not showing up because I don't have a ton of light in front of me, but just the saturation and like I said, and vibrancy is amazing. And then lastly, I probably shouldn't fold that into a triangle. My last one, March, I remember the name of this colorway. It's called Grand Finale and Night Sky Blue, I think is what she called the blue. So Grand Finale is supposed to be, you know, like fireworks and over the night sky. I think it's perfect for ending her minis. It's been a lot of fun getting them every month and working on this. So now that I have all of them, I will lay them out and figure out how I want to arrange them. I might do them to where the striped sections make a diamond, but I also might make them so the striped sections line up and then the solid sections line up in diagonal lines. I'm kind of leaning towards that one, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So, and I think what I'll do, because I want to make where I sew them together, I want to kind of make that hidden the best that I can if I'm trying to, you know, get that pattern of, you know, the lines. And hey, look, see, leftovers from that. So I knew I had a little bit more. But around the edges, I want to make it, you know, look like it's finished. So what I think I might do to keep it all in Fiber Nymph Dye Works or Bounce Base, I have this half skein that I ordered a while back that I think I might take this and just do an applied I-cord. I don't know if it would be enough, but I think it would, because it's just 3 stitches. I would just do a 3-stitch one, so it would be small, and just go around the whole thing. So I think that would be enough. So we'll see. I can always do, you know, one side of one square and do the math and see if I have enough. If not, I'm not opposed to having to order another skein from her, you know, just saying. Her stuff is amazing. So, oh darn, I would have to order more gorgeousness from her shop. So, and it doesn't matter, to me it doesn't matter what color it is, because they're all different colors, so it doesn't matter if it matches or whatever. It being its own separate color kind of adds to the whole mismatchy thing anyways. So if that works, that'd be nice, because then I don't have to spend more money. But at the same time, if I do, her prices are very reasonable, especially for her semi-solids, so it's not a big deal. All right, so I have that, and that's all for the knitting part of it. I do have a little bit of spinning. I have pulled out my drop spindle once again and have been working on it. So the colorway I'm working through is shades of turquoise. Here's the first half of it. It's one of the Greenwood Fiberworks Greenwood pigtails, one of her little 1/2 ounce braids, and this is the second half. And I'm kind of treating it as a gradient because of the way she dyed it. She went like darker to lighter and then kind of back to darker, so I split it in half right there. So I'm done. You can see on the bottom I'm done with the lightest shade and have gone a little bit darker. Sorry for the lighting, but I can see it, so I think you can, that it's getting a little darker. I do have a little bit of the light bit still right here that, you know, the dark and light have kind of mixed. So anyways, I have really been enjoying spinning on it again. I definitely plan on taking it to the retreat with me and to you know, pick up more on. And I have a couple others of her pigtail braids that a friend of mine traded with me. So designing, I do have a design that I'm working on that I can't talk a whole lot about. It is going to be a shawl. I'm really struggling with it. I am going to say it's a collaboration, and it's going to be, the yarn that I'm going to be using is a highly variegated, and I happen to have some really highly variegated yarn that I've been practicing with because I don't have the yarn yet. And it was requested that the shawl not be either plain garter or plain stockinette for the beginning part and then go out to something else. It'd be a little bit more. And I'm really having a hard time finding a stitch pattern that doesn't just disappear with the variegation, and that I can, and well, and the other stipulation of it being elongated more on the sides, the kind where you increase on the right side and wrong side rows on either end. I'm really having a hard time. I did find a stitch pattern that I really like, but it's a multiple that's different than the increases. So now that I've at least found the stitch pattern that looks good with the yarn, I'm gonna see if I can make it work with that type of increasing. So yeah, we'll see what we can make work. I'm not giving up, just having a hard time, really having a hard time. So yeah, I think at least now that I have the stitch pattern, I can work something out. So anyways, I'm sure it'll all fall into place, especially once I don't have to focus on the retreat so much. I think that also has me a little bit distracted. Even when I know I don't have anything to do and can focus on it, I still am, you know, a little distracted and scatterbrained a little bit. So anyways, all right. Lastly, acquisitions. I do have a couple to tell you about that were for my birthday, which was on April 5th. I ordered them for myself. They're from Jake, but I just went into my Amazon wish list and picked stuff out. So the first thing that I got was the Stitch collection. I have this mirrored. I don't know if it might be backwards for you too. I changed my viewing option, but either way, it's called the Stitch collection, and it has 5 different little Stitch books. Book 1 is Knit and Purl. Book 2 is Rib. Book 3 is Lace. Book 4 is Cables, and Book 5 is Specialty. And that's actually where I found the stitch pattern that I want to use on that shawl. And what's great is they're such small books, but they really are packed with a good variety of stitch patterns, and nicely illustrated, and they have a little kind of blurb about each of the stitches, and they even talk about the level, what knitting level is suggested, and the drape of it. So that way you know if it's going to have good drape or if it's going to be a little stiffer. Like Eye of Partridge is one of them in the Specialty. Drape only has one thing next to it. Well, it wouldn't be good for drape, but we all know that it's great for the heel of the heel of the sock. So, or the heel flap on a sock. So, anyway, it's really nice. And I have a set of stitch dictionaries, but this has some stuff that doesn't have. So, it's nice to expand that and get some fresh ideas from it. The other thing that I got was I finally got Knitting Around by Elizabeth Zimmerman. Again, it might be backwards for you. I apologize if it is. Great book. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. I haven't owned any of her books. I've checked them out from the library so many times, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to order it. And right now, Knit Picks is having their 40% off book sale, and so I may have to get a couple more of her books that they carry. So anyway, that's fun. I want to make, I pulled out a, those vests where it's pretty much just a rectangle with 2 holes in it? I made one, I think it was last year, and I ended up kind of running out of yarn and tried to make it work, and it was a bad fit. So I pulled it out this weekend because it was beautiful yarn that I didn't want to go to waste. So I decided, after looking through this, that I think a fun option would be her Mobius jacket, is what she called it. It's really a vest. So here's what it looks like. It's really neat, and here's what it looks. This man that's wearing it is pretty chunky yarn on him, but I love the idea of it, and the yarn that I'll be using is some Madeline Tosh, and it's a variegated, and I think it'll show off the gorgeousness of the yarn really well. So anyway, I'll be making that. I might even, because it's easily accommodating to different sizes, different size yarns, all that kind of stuff, I may do a gauge swatch and have that as one of the things I have to work on at the retreat, because it's just garter stitch. I do have a sock that I cast on. I don't have it with me because I did the toe and then have left it, because that's what I wanted to just have the toe done so I can work on it. I think I talked about it in my last podcast. But anyways, yeah. But if I have some garter stitch and some plain knitting in the round, it'll be easy to pick up and put down and whatnot. So anyway, that is all I have for you today. Less than 25 minutes. Woo! So, yep, I've told you how to get in touch with me and where to find the podcast. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you after the retreat. Bonk myself in the nose there. I'll see you after the retreat, and until next time, keep knitting. Bye.